Hello mathematicians, it's Miss Armgard back with another instructional video. Today we are going to look at finding the distance between any 2 points using absolute value. So first we are going to find the vertical before we do horizontal. So we are going to be looking at this segment, so this part of a line here, segment 1, and on the right the lines have gone, but we have our coordinates. So first we have a vertical segment. The x coordinates are, you'll notice, the same. They're both 3 because they are on top of each other, but the y coordinates are different. The y coordinates are 6 and 1, and this segment is only in one quadrant. You'll remember quad meaning 4, we have the 4 quadrants of the graph. So now that we figured out that we are looking at different y coordinates, we are going to subtract the y coordinates. So we are going to do 6 minus 1 gives us 5. The distance between these 2 points is 5 units. So it's a very similar setup for horizontal distance. Now let's look at the length of segment 2 down here. You'll notice segment 2, those 2 points, go between 2 quadrants. So let's take a look at this a little bit more in depth. So we have our horizontal line. The x coordinates are different. The x coordinates are -4 and 5. The y coordinates are the same. Because it is horizontal, we are going across the y-axis. So the y, remember, is up and down, which means that the points are in 2 different quadrants. So this will change how we find the distance because we can't just do the simple math now, because from this part of the segment to this part is 4, and from this part of the segment to that part is 5. So we are going to add the absolute value of the coordinates. Remember, when we talk about absolute value, you have to put the line on either side because that means the absolute value of -4 is 4 and the absolute value of 5 is 5. Now we can add 4 plus 5 to give us 9 units. So right here, I'm going to circle. This is how you show your work. You have to give me the absolute value. You can't just say 4, because where did that 4 come from? What does it mean? It comes from the absolute value of that distance. So please, folks, remember, add the absolute value into your test. All right, so we have points L, N, M, N, and O, and we have a question before us. So what is the distance between L and N? Number 1, draw a line connecting the two. Does it have to be perfect? No. So L and N have a vertical line. So that means we are going to look at our y because our x will be the same. Folks, if they're both in the same quadrant, we are all in quadrant number 2, then we can just do 4 minus 1 will give us 3 units. That is our distance between the two from 4 to 1. There are 3 spaces in between. So now, what is the distance between L and M? So we're going to draw our line. We're going to be horizontal, which means we are looking at our x coordinates. Now, we are in 2 quadrants, whereas remember our first, we were only in 1 quadrant. So now we're looking at our x. So we have -2 and 6. So the way that we're going to write this is the absolute value of -2 plus the absolute value of 6, or 2 plus 6, and that equals 8 units. So the distance between those two is 8 units. Now, the last question, what could be the location of a point in quadrant 4 that is 5 units from O? So we have O down here in quadrant 5. Remember, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's on your previous notes. We need 5 units from O, but it's still in quadrant 4. So I want you to take a look at this, answer it in the formative. Don't forget to give your example, and I am Miss Armgart saying happy solving.